Hello friends, welcome back to another video from Shomu's Biology. In this video, we're going to talk about the Part C molecular biology questions, that is Unit 3 Part C questions from CSIR NET Life Science exams. How exactly you can tackle the complicated and complexly formed Part C questions. Because I've heard many students, I've seen many students who can answer question when that is asked in a simple manner. But when the questions are made in a complex manner, in a complicated way, then they fail to answer. So basically, how exactly you can break a Part C question in smaller fragment in a simpler version so that you can answer that fast and much more effective way. That's what we're going to see in this series. So this time we're going to talk about the molecular biology question or Unit 3 questions from CSIR NET exam. So what we are going to do here, we are going to we're going to take the color here, red color, okay, and let's begin to solve some of these questions. This is the first question from molecular biology. In semi-conservative model of DNA replication, two parental strands unwind and are used for synthesis of a new strand following the rule of complementary base pairing. Synthesis of complementary strands required that DNA synthesis proceeds in opposite direction, while the double helix is progressively unwinding and replicating in only one direction. One of the DNA strand is continuously synthesized while the other is synthesizing in the other direction, okay, in the same direction as the advancing replication fork, and is called leading strand, whereas the other strand is synthesized discontinuously in segments and referred as a lagging strand. These short fragments made discontinuously are labeled as Okazaki fragments. These Okazaki fragments need to be matured into continuous DNA strand by which one of the following combination of enzymes. Okay. So it took me around 30 to 40 seconds to read this whole blah blah blah, all these things, and this is all rubbish. This question, a typical example of how CSIR kills your time. A question like this will kill your time, and once you read from start to the end, you'll forget what they said in the beginning, so you need to read it again. So you'll invest 1 minute for reading, 1.5 minutes for reading. And basically, you know what question they asked from here? One question. Which enzyme pair cleaves the Okazaki fragment and replace it with DNTPs and seal the nick? So basically the last two steps of lagging strand synthesis. That's what they asked. The enzymes involved in the last two steps of lagging strand synthesis in prokaryotes. What are the enzymes? We know the Okazaki fragment, it contains what? The primers. So primers need to be cleaved out. They are RNA primers and they are cleaved out by whom? DNA polymerase 1. Polymerase 1 releases and cuts out the RNA primers from the lagging strands, and as well as from leading. In the leading strand there is only one example. In lagging there are multiple fragments. So you need to release in multiple locations in lagging strand. And once the nucleotides are cleaved out, the ribonucleotides are cleaved out, there will be gap. Gap is also sealed by DNA polymerase 1, but there is a nick, that is a cut between the newly synthesized DNTPs and the existing one. That nick is sealed by which enzyme? Ligase, because DNA ligase is the only enzyme that can seal the nick there. So basically at the end of the DNA replication in the lagging strand, there are two enzyme works together, one enzyme pair, two enzymes. One is DNA polymerase 1, fill the gap, and ligase seal the nick. So DNA polymerase 1 and DNA ligase. This should be your answer. Option B should be your answer. You don't need to read this whole questions, you know. This, now you can see this is a simple question, but it is made complicated to kill your time. You need to identify this kind of question, understand before answering, okay. Remember, most appropriate. Now another question, a merodiploid strain of E. coli with the genotype F plus, OC, Z minus, Y plus, O plus, Z plus, Y plus was constructed. The activity of beta galactosidase enzyme was measured in the strain upon the following treatments. So again, this is a question, this is a complex question. Why? Because it is a combination based question wherein to find out the right answer from this. But the combination answer itself are graphical. So this is image or graphical questions. You need to understand the graph as well along with reading the statements, and also you need to know about the question topic. The question is from the lac operon, first of all. Second thing, and mirror deployed lac operon math problems. We have talked about that in a separate video. You can watch that video later on. So we know one thing, that ZY, basically we are talking about the beta galactosidase production, so we are concerned about the Z only, okay. And OC is the operator constitutive mutation, and here is O plus means wild type. So basically if operator constitutive mutation is there at this site, so beta galactosidase cannot be produced because Z is minus. So Z can only be produced from where? This segment where O is wild type, Z is wild type, Y is wild type, right? Because the constitutive operator can never produce beta galactosidase because there the Z is negative, they cannot produce anything. So if we are talking about the production of beta galactosidase, then we are always looking for this particular genotype, that is O plus Z plus Y plus, this particular gene, okay. So which one of the following graphs direct the thing, you know, there are different findings that we know. One, A is the no induction, B is induction with n moles of Iptg, C is induction with n moles of lactose, and D is induction with n moles of lactose in presence of n moles of glucose. So what happens in these situations, let me tell you first. If there is no induction, then the lac operon will work as per normal rule. It will work as per normal rule. That means no induction means we don't provide any Iptg, we didn't provide any lactose. So basically the operon will not turn on like that. It will only turn on if lactose is present or if Iptg is present. So it's a leaky expression. The only expression that you can see is a very faint leaky expression, and that too if operator constitutive is there. But the Z is of minus near the operator constitutive. So the chance here, the expression of beta galactosidase is not possible, okay. So it must be 0 at a moment there, not possible. Next goes the induction with Iptg. Of course, if you induce with Iptg, the production will be highest among all. If you induce with Iptg, the production will be highest, and then little less when we put lactose as an inducer, and even lesser if you put lactose and glucose both, because lactose and glucose both, if they work together, then what they will do is that first they will utilize glucose, then they will utilize lactose, so they will take some time. So as per induction of this operon, Iptg highest induction, then lactose plus glucose. This is the scheme. Let me write it here: Iptg, lactose only, lac plus glucose. This is the normal scheme, okay, regarding. So if you are looking at the graph, Iptg is here, there for B, lac C and D. B Iptg, C for lactose, D for both. So what we can see is that in the graph, what we can see, B should be maximum, then C, then D. So let's look at the graph where we have this pattern: B highest, then C, then D. No, yes, no, yes. Now we can cancel both A and D graphs out, but just by knowing these three statements, B, C and D. Now between the two, one is correct answer. The first one is no induction, we did not induce at all. So if we don't induce, can't we find any beta galactosidase expression? The answer is yes. Even though we don't induce, still there are leaky expressions where the beta galactosidase will be produced. So between these two, what we can tell, yes, little bit of production is there. But look at it, the production of beta galactosidase here and the beta galactosidase production in induction in presence of glucose and lactose are equal. So to my extent, this must not be equal. The D should be little more than the leaky expression. Leaky expression must not be equal to D. So this graph is not entirely correct. Now what happens here? Zero expression when there is no induction? No, because leaky expression is always there. Even though here the Z is minus for operator constitutive, but Z will be produced from this side, right? So this is not true. Zero expression is not true. The answer should be option C, but again the A and D must not be exactly equal. D will be little more than A. Okay, so as per these four images, C is the correct answer. Got it. So to answer this question, you need to know the operon concept very well. You need to know the lac operon concept very well. You need to know how exactly the lac operon works, how it is turned on, how it is turned off, and what are the structural genes present. Leaky expression is there or not. All these things need to be understood very clearly to answer this question. Okay. Okay. So this is it. This is the type of question that you are going to see in the CSIR NET part C. Okay, don't be afraid of part C questions, because you can see the questions are made complicated and different images are presented, different questions. For example, this mirror diploid thing is not necessarily important here. They can give you a simple, they can tell you that this is a lac operon and the induction of lac operon either is not done, induction is done by Iptg, induction is done by lactose, induction is done by glucose lactose together. If they gave you that, still the answer could have been same, but they gave merodiploid and they gave some genotypes, and they know that students, when they see merodiploid genotypes, most of them will be frightened and they will not tackle the question, they will leave it, and only those who know that and go there, tackle it and answer it will get the benefit of doubt. So that is what they are concerned about. Okay, so you need to make yourself familiar by looking at a question. If you see something that you don't know, it does not necessarily mean that you cannot answer the question. Here it is not required at all. Only knowing the fact of induction of a lac operon with Iptg, with lactose, you can answer this question. Okay, so keep these things in your mind. In every single part C question when you try to solve, apply this step by step to get the answer. It will take time when you do that in your home. That's what you practice. But if you practice it at your home, it will get better and you can do it much better in the exam hall. So that's all for today. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and subscribe to this channel to get more and more videos like that in future. Thank you. Bye.